So I thought I'd do a review today of the Rototilt R2 on the Kubota. It's been on just over 2 years now, so I had plenty of time to see if I have any problems with it or anything I would change, etc. It's still in one piece. Been very, very good. I can't really fault it at all. It's strong, it's very robust. It's direct mount, as you can see there, so it doesn't get dropped off ever. Kept it on, and I've done quite a lot of ripping out tree stumps, old footings, all that kind of thing. Obviously bought it for the golf course work primarily, but I don't take it off for other jobs, and it's been really, really good. It's stronger than I expected. It's not something that I tend to baby anymore. I really did look after it and was careful with it for the first month, but well, still I'm careful with it, but you don't need to go overboard. It's robust. Got the got these 3 buckets with it off BMC when I bought it. 3-foot digging bucket. It's a bit of a beast, but it handles it well. The Scandinavian style grading bucket and Scandinavian style narrow bucket. The shape of the bucket does make a big difference, especially with the grading grading bucket from digging bunkers or swales, all that kind of stuff. It is good not to have the corners on the back of the bucket to dig in. The digging bucket, probably very similar to a standard one, but they've all got hardox in them. Very strong. Wear strips, as you can see, on the sides. I think I've had this Rototilt on now for probably 600 or 800 hours, I would have said. I've not had a single problem with it. The only time they've ever been out is to give it a service after 400 hours. So this housing, rather than it being grease, like I think the other 2 manufacturers are grease filled, this is actually full of gear oil. And you take, where are we now? Take that plug out and drain the oil. I've not had any trouble with it. It's needed no maintenance other than greasing it. The only thing I did do is I snapped off that grease nipple, which you can see now. We've put a short one in because they made these big recess holes, and then the grease nipples out of the factory actually stick out. You can see there, which is a bit daft when you've got all that space to recess it in. Anyway, they fitted it out when he came and serviced it, tapped it out, fitted a grease nipple in there again, got it well down in that recess so it can't be caught again. I don't think the back one will ever catch any harm, the front one a bit more susceptible. I think it was a piece of concrete or a log, snapped that off. So yeah, I've had no problems at all with it. Nothing that's needed doing other than greasing. The Rototilt fitted a nice job of piping it up. I opted to have the pipes both down the same side of the dipper arm, so that if you are working around trees and need to put the arm through, I know that on this side of the dipper it's bare up to the boom, and there's nothing on this side at all that can get caught or pulled off, which is why, like I say, I opted to have the pipes all routed down this left hand side so that from in the cab I can see those. I've added these quick release fittings last week. I need to alter them a bit, but they're to run a flail mower, which I've put on and tried, which I like. I do have the ICS control system on this tilt rotator, which means that although I only had one hammer line on the machine, electronically the tilt rotator can run through these auxiliaries, you take these plugs out and put quick connects on, so I can run a grab. On paper I could run the flail under it, but we thought sensible to tee it in above the Rototilt to give it maximum oil flow, mainly for the return back to the tank to stop it getting hot. But on paper I could have run it through the Rototilt. And when you go for the electronic control, you obviously get, I shouldn't say obviously, but you get all your joysticks in the cab get swapped. So on my right hand joystick, left and right for tilt, and on the left hand joystick, left and right for rotate. You can program the buttons to do various things. I haven't bothered because mainly I just have buckets on, but there is a roller, on the bottom of here. That roller there is for running your auxiliaries. So when I've got the flail on, just push that lever, that roller, and that powers the flail up. Then inside the cab you get a little computer mounted. Fitter-wise it all in, does that. And on there you can access a menu. So there's all sorts of settings you can go into there. You can look at your speeds. You can alter the speed of your tilt and rotates. You can see how many hours the unit's done, how many hours it's spent tilting, how many hours it's spent rotating, all that kind of stuff, which you don't really need, but there is some useful features on there. And I think I would recommend going for the ICS control system because the joysticks are very, very good, and you do still have the option to directly plug in a grab or a tree shear or something like that under your tilt rotator, and you've got the control functionality for the electronics, and the hitch is done electronically through the Rototilt as well, through that screen as well, so that's handy. This is on a 5-ton Kubota U48. It handles it well. They're not ridiculously heavy, and it can still lift a ton bag over the side of the tracks and boom it almost right out full. One thing I do like about this, it's only a little thing, but it is very handy, is there's a dedicated lifting eye on there, which means you're not always hunting for a shackle every time you want to lift something. So I do use that a lot, it's very handy. The way everything's routed, wires, pipes, I've not caught anything yet, it's handy. All the grease nipples are easy to get at. One there for the tilt ram, one at the back for the tilt mechanism, and one at the front for the tilt mechanism. I don't think there's a great deal else to say, other than if you're looking for a tilt rotator for a 3 to 6 ton machine, I've got absolutely nothing bad to say about this Rototilt. I would highly recommend one. Brilliant piece of kit. I imagine they are frightening money now. As I say, I've had this for 2 years, and judging what people are saying on other videos, I'm very glad I bought it when I did, because I don't know if I would buy it at today's prices. Well, no, I would want to, but it's whether I'd be able to afford to buy it at today's prices, I don't know. They seem to have gone up quite savagely. You've got to take into account, though, this system with the ICS, quite involved. It's a day, full day of a job, maybe day and a half, routing all the pipes, all the wires, everything back into the cab of the machine, joysticks to fit, monitors to fit. But what a superb job they do. Can't Can't speak highly enough of the lad who did that, Jake. And Rototilt are local to me, Manchester, so any issues I've had, I've been on the phone and they're very good getting back to you. Any help I've needed, which hasn't been very often, is done over the phone if possible. Willing to help you, not just, oh, we'll send an engineer and charge you accordingly. If they can help you over the phone to solve an issue, they're more than happy to do that, which I think goes a long way today. Not everybody's like that. Yeah, great piece of kit. I would certainly have another one if I was looking to put one on the 13-tonner. I would not hesitate to get a Rototilt, and I think I would go for the S-type Scandinavian hitch and a set of buckets. The geometry is well worked out. Seemed to be the way to go. Yeah, there you go. If you're looking for one, the feeling with me is they're very, very good, and I would recommend a Rototilt to you. So there you go. That's my opinion after 2 years of use, and this has been a busy machine. It's done probably 80% of my work, so it's not like it's been sat in the yard a lot. It's been very, very busy, very productive. I think it's generated work as well, having the Rototilt on, especially with the golf course. Once they see what you can do and they know you've got that, it makes a big difference. I do have a couple of other attachments other than the buckets. The grading beam that I made myself there. Well, I didn't weld it, but I got materials and cut it all and tapped it together and some welded it. BMC made me this fork. This is for lifting slabs of marron grass, transferring them on the golf course. That's been a very handy tool. I've got a couple of other bits as well, but they're not here. Yeah. So there you go. Really good, really pleased. Would have another one in a heartbeat. Thank you for watching.